The largest naval battle in history was the Battle of Leyte Gulf, fought in the Pacific during World War II. Hundreds of ships and thousands of men clashed across vast, unforgiving ocean. The distances and forces involved were unprecedented. The Pacific became a graveyard for steel. More ships were sunk here than anywhere else. Fleets often never saw each other. The main weapon was the airplane, launched from carriers. The human cost was immense. Sailors faced burning water, sharks, and the endless horizon. The Pacific Campaign redefined naval warfare forever. The Pacific Ocean is the planet's largest feature. Controlling it meant controlling vital trade routes and resources. For Japan, expansion into the Pacific was about survival. They needed oil and raw materials from Southeast Asia. To secure these, Japan had to neutralize the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a bold gamble to gain dominance. It was a tactical success, but a strategic failure, uniting America in resolve. The Pacific became a critical line of defense for the Allies. If Japan controlled it, Australia and New Zealand would be isolated. The U.S. fought a two-front war: armies in Europe, Navy and Marines across Pacific Islands. The strategy of island hopping emerged, bypassing heavily fortified islands to seize key positions. This allowed the Allies to cut off Japanese garrisons and maintain momentum. The vastness of the Pacific, once a challenge, became a strategic advantage. Each island captured brought the Allies closer to Japan. The fight for the Pacific was a relentless push across a giant chessboard of islands and sea. In May 1942, the Battle of the Coral Sea changed naval warfare forever. For the first time, two fleets fought without their ships ever seeing each other. Aircraft did the fighting. American carriers Lexington and Yorktown faced Japanese carriers Shokaku and Zuikaku. Japan aimed to seize Port Moresby, threatening Australia. The U.S. Navy had to stop them at all costs. Pilots searched for unseen enemies over vast ocean, relying on luck and reports. Both sides made mistakes and suffered heavy losses. The Japanese sank the Lexington and damaged Yorktown, but lost the Shoho and crippled Shikaku. On paper, Japan claimed a tactical victory, but strategically, the Allies won by halting the invasion. The battle kept Australia safe and weakened Japanese carrier strength for future battles. The loss of experienced Japanese pilots and damaged ships would prove decisive at Midway. The U.S. Navy learned hard lessons about air coordination and carrier vulnerability. Yorktown's rapid repair at Pearl Harbor was a miracle of determination. She would soon play a vital role in the next most important battle. The Coral Sea was a bloody rehearsal for what was to come. It marked the dawn of carrier warfare. The Pacific balance was shifting. 1 month after Coral Sea, Japan launched its master plan, targeting Midway Atoll to destroy the U.S. carriers. 4 elite Japanese carriers, confident from Pearl Harbor, sailed to battle. But U.S. cryptanalysts had broken the Japanese code and knew the plan. Admiral Nimitz gambled with just 3 carriers: Enterprise, Hornet, and the hastily repaired Yorktown. The American fleet lay in wait, ready to ambush. On June 4, 1942, the battle began. Japanese planes struck Midway, but U.S. carriers remained hidden. American torpedo bombers attacked first, suffering devastating losses. Their sacrifice drew Japanese fighters down, leaving the carriers exposed. At the perfect moment, American dive bombers struck from above. In minutes, Akagi, Kaga, and Soryu were ablaze. Later, Hiryu was also sunk after damaging Yorktown. In a single day, Japan lost 4 carriers and many of its best pilots. The tide of the Pacific War turned decisively. Midway was a stunning American victory born of intelligence, courage, and timing. The myth of Japanese invincibility was shattered. The U.S. seized the initiative in the Pacific. Carrier warfare had come of age. The outcome of the war was forever changed. Midway became a legend in naval history. The Pacific balance had shifted for good. The Pacific War was defined by legendary ships, floating cities with thousands aboard. Aircraft carriers became the new queens of the sea, with the USS Enterprise, the Big E, earning more battle stars than any other U.S. ship. She survived countless battles and became the heart of the fleet. Battleships like Yamato and Musashi, the largest ever built, symbolized imperial power but proved vulnerable to air attack. The sinking of Musashi at Leyte Gulf marked the end of the battleship era. Destroyers were the fleet's workhorses, fast, agile, and vital for protection and rescue. Their crews, known for bravery, often faced overwhelming odds. Submarines waged a silent war, choking off Japan's supplies and crippling its war economy. Submarine duty was perilous and claustrophobic, but their impact was immense. These unsung heroes played a major role in Allied victory. Every ship, from carrier to destroyer, had its own story of survival and sacrifice. The Pacific was a proving ground for new technology and tactics. The era of the battleship ended. The age of the carrier had begun. The war at sea was a test of innovation and endurance. The legacy of these ships endures in naval history. Their stories are reminders of courage under fire. The Pacific fleets might reshape the world. The Pacific War was a chess match played by admirals across millions of square miles. Admiral Nimitz rebuilt the U.S. fleet after Pearl Harbor and trusted intelligence at Midway, changing the war's course. Admirals Spruance and Halsey led in the field. Spruance was cautious and calculating, Halsey aggressive and inspiring. Their contrasting styles both proved vital. On the Japanese side, Admiral Yamamoto, architect of Pearl Harbor, understood America's industrial power and gambled on quick victory. His complex plans, like at Midway, unraveled when luck turned. Yamamoto's death in 1943 was a blow to Japanese morale. Other key commanders, Ozawa, Kurita, Fletcher, made decisions under immense pressure. Their choices shaped the fate of fleets and men. The war's outcome hinged on leadership as much as firepower. Admirals' strengths and flaws were felt by every sailor. The Pacific was a test of command and character. Their legacies endure in the lessons of history. Life for a Pacific sailor swung between boredom and terror. Warships were crowded, noisy, and hot. Privacy was non-existent. The call to general quarters shattered monotony. Every man rushed to his post, tension thick in the air. Battle brought deafening noise, fire, and confusion. Fire was the greatest fear. Damage control teams fought heroically to save ship and crew. Even survival after a sinking was uncertain. The ocean itself was a deadly enemy. The psychological toll was immense. Memories of battle and loss haunted survivors. Camaraderie and resilience kept them going. The spirit of the Pacific sailor remains legendary. In October 1944, the U.S. invaded the Philippines. MacArthur's promised return. The Japanese launched a desperate plan, throwing every ship into the massive Battle of Leyte Gulf. It was the largest naval battle in history, fought over several days. The Japanese divided their forces, using carriers as bait to lure Admiral Halsey's fleet away. Two powerful surface fleets aimed to attack the vulnerable American transports. Halsey took the bait, leaving the landing beaches defended by small escort carriers and destroyers. On October 25th, the Japanese center force, led by Yamato, attacked. Outgunned, the American destroyers and escort carriers fought with incredible bravery. Their attacks and relentless air sorties confused the Japanese commander, Admiral Kurita. Believing he faced a larger force, Kurita withdrew at the brink of victory. The American landing was saved by courage and determination. Leyte Gulf shattered the Japanese fleet. The Allies' path to victory was now clear. The Pacific naval battles changed the world. The age of the battleship ended. The aircraft carrier became the cornerstone of naval power. Technologies like radar and advanced communications shaped the post-war era. The defeat of Japan ended its empire and made the U.S. the dominant Pacific power. The war accelerated the end of colonialism in Asia and forged lasting alliances. The Pacific became a region of economic growth and strategic importance. For those who fought, the war left deep scars and lifelong bonds. The stories of unsung heroes, damage control teams, destroyer crews, submariners, are vital to this legacy. History is shaped by ordinary people doing extraordinary things. The legacy lives on in silent wrecks and in the peace their sacrifice secured. Understanding the Pacific War is key to understanding our world today. Their courage and sacrifice must never be forgotten. Join us as we continue to explore these stories from the deep.